So you're in the market to buy a home, and it could be here in Metro Detroit where we help buyers and sellers, or anywhere in the country, and either way you're going to run into one of these, a home inspection report, which is a list of all the home's perceived defects compiled by a home inspector. Over 23 years selling homes, and I've attended over 1,000 home inspections and have read thousands of additional reports, I can say that often these can be misleading and cause problems for home buyers because they're often opaque, which is to be expected because the industry of home inspecting itself is opaque. Here in Michigan, if you're buying a home in Metro Detroit, there is no licensing requirement to say you're a home inspector. And I'll say that differently. All you need to do to be a home inspector is go to OfficeMax, get some of those printable business cards, do a design online for free, and print them out. Boom, you're a home inspector. In this video, we're going to cover the business of home inspecting, how to find a good one, what inspectors can and cannot do, as well as solutions to the business shortfalls. So I want to be clear right out the gate. I fully support getting a home inspection, and for 23 years have advised 100% of my clients to get one and will continue to do so. I believe in them. They've saved my clients and myself from getting into terrible deals. And when I say myself, I mean when I'm buying houses. I don't just mean homes that a buyer shouldn't buy. I also mean that a buyer shouldn't buy at that price with that issue. Could be the right home, wrong price. First, there are 3 basic types of home inspections out there with different functions. This is a report prepared for a buyer to protect a buyer. The second type is the FHA or VA required home inspection. This is conducted by an appraiser and very limited in scope to health and safety items only. They protect the bank, not you. Third, there are some cities that require city inspections, and again, they're not comprehensive. City inspectors don't inspect everything, and they're limited in scope. Some cities require the items be completed before move-in or completed before closing, however, can miss some pretty big items as well. An example, your home inspector protecting you will tell you if a furnace is working and not emitting carbon monoxide and how much life is left, which is important. The FHA inspector will simply tell you whether it turns on or turns off. That's it. And the city inspector, same thing. Does it turn on? Or does it not? We'll be talking only about home inspectors, not home inspections themselves. Number 1, home inspectors are not necessarily construction experts. When I got into the business, nearly every home inspector I encountered had at one point in time worked in the construction field, either building homes or as a plumber or an electrician, and that was kind of the natural progression of things. Do, then later on inspect. But that's not the case anymore. Many have taken a training course online or two and now call themselves home inspectors, and today I advise only going with an accredited inspector. The 2 main accreditations are the American Society of Home Inspections, which is ASHI, and the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors, which is NASHI. Both of them have rigorous certification processes that require in-field training and a number of inspections to be completed, as well as periodic testing and required code updates. When selecting an inspector, make sure they're certified by either or both associations. Now, it doesn't guarantee you're going to get a good inspector, but at least you're going to get one that tested out on what to look for. Second, know the limitations of a home inspection. The only duty a home inspector has is identifying and documenting visible flaws. That's it. Inspectors are a trained set of eyes going into a home you're looking to buy, examining the visible surfaces and areas and document what they see. They won't move furniture or take things out of closets to access an attic, and often they ask owners to remove things ahead of time that could impede access to the attic or the mechanicals. They won't do anything invasive that could cause damage, like putting a hole in a wall to see what's back there, and most home inspectors won't comment on possible repairs as far as how much a repair would cost. Partly because most inspectors don't have a construction background anymore, but more so because they're not really allowed to, because they're bound by liability and legal hazards, and their liability insurance won't let them. When you have your report, have your agent go ask for more time for the big items to get them quoted by licensed and insured contractors that specialize in that field, like mold remediation or electrical issues or foundation issues, to name a few. We get our clients more time to explore. Next up, home inspectors can't inspect everything. They will or should ask owners to make access to the attic, mechanical, basement, or crawl space if there is a crawl space, but still oftentimes it's like getting an adult human into some pretty tight spaces. We've seen homes where there have been active leaks between walls or mold and tight spots of an attic where people struggle to get into. And it's not that the damage wasn't there, it's because it was in a place where the inspector couldn't reach physically, or because clutter prevented them from getting there, and they can only go so far. But you'll see the lines that read in the report like could not inspect southeast corner of the attic, or couldn't take the front off the electrical panel due to a bookcase that was in front of it. And that actually happened once, and I had to get the seller's agent to allow a second home inspection after the sellers moved the bookcase. Bottom line, ask your agent to ask the sellers to pull furniture away from walls, unblock access to all areas, and delay an inspection until this can be done. Otherwise, you're going to have a severely limited inspection. Next up, go to your home inspection. I advise 100% of my clients 100% of the time to go to the home inspection with the inspector. And that's for a lot of reasons. First, being present, you can get all your questions answered on the spot instead of playing phone tag. Second, reports can read scary when a repair item might not be. Third, reports can read bland and major issues can hide in some of the details of a report. Items that are a big deal may not sound like it in a report, and not everything on a report is equal in weight. Home inspectors will provide quarterly and yearly maintenance advice to extend the life of things like furnaces and hot water heaters and windows and more. Now here's my bullet point recap of home inspection advice to keep this process smooth. To find a good home inspector, ask your agent and also ask people you know that have bought a home in the area in the last year, but call the recommendations to be sure that you're comfortable with them. Ask about their experience, their history, what they did before this, and if they've done less than 1,000 inspections, honestly move on. If you feel they might be wishy-washy or hard to get a hold of for questions on the report, move on. Don't panic when big issues come up. Take a deep breath and follow the next steps. Get a contractor out to quote the repair, use your agent to negotiate the best possible outcome for you, and either buy the home or move on. And it is okay to move on. There's no requirement to buy the home. While you're waiting or in that negotiation period, it is okay to go see a few more homes that may have come on the market. They'll either find another one you like better, or it will reaffirm that this is still the best home for you, even with the defect. The only wrong answer is having what-if questions out there and you not being confident in your decision. Remember, these guys work for you, not the seller, not the agent, and I believe overall 90% of inspectors do a good job. And a lot of people's perceptions of home inspections is they're going to find everything, and they won't. No one can and no one will. My name is Mike Perna. Hopefully that gives you a little more information on home inspections as far as the scope, as well as home inspectors themselves. If we can be of any service to you, including just looking over a report and offering some free advice, call us anytime. We're here to help.